Welcome back to 843 TV. On our episode today, we are talking about all the preparations for this season of storms and natural events that come our way. And joining us, we've had Mr. Tom Dunn and we've had Beth Gasiorowski at the Hilton Head Hospital and Healthcare Center, and sharing a lot of very important information today. So let's talk about evacuation again, because this is something that is fearful for all of us. For those who decide to stay, maybe it might be some for financial concerns. Right. So if that's someone's concern and maybe they don't have funds to pay for hotels, they have anywhere to go to stay, what are the options for them?
Sure, the best option for them is a public shelter. The Beaufort County as a whole has a very large evacuation plan, which includes Hilton Head Island. There are multiple stops on Hilton Head Island. So Palmetto Breeze is the primary evacuation tool. So they'll come around and pick you up at those designated evacuation points. And they're all listed on the town's website and in our emergency management or emergency preparedness guide. And we'll take them from the island to a public shelter. Those public shelters are located in Jasper and beyond. So there are no hurricane shelters in Beaufort County. So you would leave Beaufort County, which is where we want you to be, is outside of the county. And once you're at that shelter, it's an emergency shelter, so there will be food, water, and minimal supplies there. But if you're going to a public shelter, you do definitely want to take a bag with you. So take, like we talked about before, take your medications, take your critical paperwork, and food, snacks, and those types of things with you when you go. But there are means to get off the island. And if you're stuck at home and you can't get out, you can call our non-emergency number for our dispatch center, and we'll get you to the evacuation point. We want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to leave the island.
So stubbornness is not a reason to stay, which
Correct.
Unfortunately is part of the reason people stay. So there's something for everyone that need financial needs, and they can be taken care of. And now there are also post-storm shelters that typically help out too. Share with us the difference there.
Absolutely. And in the county, they have there are designated emergency shelters. So post-hurricane, we can open up a shelter at one of the high schools or one of the other schools. Or if there's an earthquake, a tornado, or some other type of event, those facilities are available. They're just not available for hurricanes.
Now, so much goes on pre-planning and during the storm, during the event itself. You put up a public safety boot camp, which is quite remarkable. Why don't you share with us what that entails? If you want to share a little bit about that. You two work together.
The public safety base camp is designed to pretty much all of the resources on the southern Beaufort County. So it's Palmetto Electric, it's the public service districts on the island, it's the hospital staff comes with us. Beaufort County EMS has got a contingent there. Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. There's a large group of folks there, all of Hilton Head Island's fire rescue, and a good contingent of our town staff go to a public safety base camp to ride out the storm. And then while we're there, that gives us the ability, because we're together, we can coordinate our response back in. So we can talk to the hospital directly. They're not somewhere else. We can talk to the sheriff's office. We can talk to all those folks to get ourselves back on the island in an organized fashion, so we all are on the same page.
So it's quite a big camp.
Yes.
You mentioned there's several hundred involved in this.
Right.
Wow. And that's quite a sacrifice that you all make, because you can't go with your family.
Absolutely.
And sometimes there's that uncertainty. So again, we appreciate all you do. We mentioned, we're talking about the hospital needs time to prepare. I think that's important to elaborate a little bit more, because people want to come back. But
Sure. So the hospital sends what they call their reentry team to base camp. There are about 50 of us. And what happens is, when you leave the hospital, you have to, just like you do with your home, you have to shut off all the electricity. You have to shut off all the oxygen, the nitrogen, all the gases. We have to shut down all of the radiological equipment, all the lab equipment. We unplug all the computers, so everything is shut down. To get that stuff up and running again takes time. It's not just flip a switch and it comes back. The air conditioning's been off if we lose power. We don't turn the air conditioning off, but if we have no power, that means the building has all this humidity.
right.
Every single surgical item has to be re-sterilized. The lab equipment takes about 48 hours, and you have to have potable water. And the radiological equipment takes about 48 hours to get it up and do quality control testing to make sure that it's an appropriate use. Then we get the staff in, and obviously our focus is to start with the emergency room. So we want to get the emergency room up and running initially for people that stayed and or people that are coming back. The public service workers obviously are out working in the field, and we want to be able to provide medical care should something happen. If we get influx from residents who want to get back and they find they start cutting branches and they start getting hurt,
Yeah.
you have flooded our emergency room. So that's why I say if you can stay where you are safely for another extra day or two to make sure that all resources up and running, that is the best plan.
Absolutely. Well, again, such great information that all of us need to know and keep in mind. And thank you both for all of your commitments to keeping our communities safe. And thank you all for watching this episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.